welcome to our Slowboat Brewery Maizidian. So before we start, I'd like to give you guys some short introduction of Slowboat. So we started business since 2011. So in the beginning, we just have a really small brewery in a village in North Beijing, Chongqing. That's a true village. Just nothing out there. We just rent a small warehouse and start our brewing business. So at that time, we just shipped down our beer from Chongqing all the way across the city and to the Dongsi Batiao in the small hutong. And in 2016, we started our first brew pub in city in Sanlitun, and here we started at 2020. So these for now we have 4 locations in Beijing: Sanlitun, Maizidian, Dengshigou, Baitasi. So only Sanlitun and Maizidian we have a whole brewing kit. So these places in Sanlitun provide most of the beer we can drink on tap.
Pork, water.
Yeah, barley. Barley, but we use another form of barley called malt. It's the malted barley. Since it got malt and there are some enzyme inside, that's why we can transfer the starch into sugar. And the other one is very common is water, right? So when you hold a pint of beer, it's like 90% of the beer is water. And the last one is yeast. That's the machine can change the sugar into alcohol and calculate the carbon dioxide. So I like to start with water. So if you guys can see over there, we got the 2 blue tall bucket. That thing, we use the water. We use the water, the city water in the beginning. Just these 2 ones. So we use the city water, but we need to get rid of all the irons inside the water, like calcium, magnesium, sulfur, chloride stuff, just to make it a pure water. We just call it RO system, just like cleaning all the water into the pure H2O.
What's RO?
RO.
Reverse osmosis?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, the malt is from barley. The barley is a kind of food product, but we didn't eat that commonly, right? Because the protein in the barley is much lower than wheat and maybe than other grains, and that's why we would like to use barley in the beer, because we need to control the protein in the beer. If there are much protein in the beer, it will cause some other future problem, like the shelf life. Protein can go bad easily, and the other thing is it will create haze in the beer. When beer is getting really cold, some leftover protein in the beer can form into what we call the chill haze, like a cloudy stuff. Not like the hazy IPA and the hazy stuff, but it's like some lines, cloud lines in the beer. That doesn't look good and maybe tastes bad. So that's why we're gonna use barley. The barley malted, we just we bought the barley in the bags from the malt company. They got a really giant space and put the barley and dry it and soak it in a certain temperature and certain humidity, so make the bud inside to grow, and then got the enzyme inside. When the enzyme made a certain temperature of water, they will change the starch in the barley into sugar. Okay. So 这个是大麦芽。Taste that. What the kind of taste is. You guys can see there's husk outside. So when you break the husk, The white thing is just white thing. The starch. Okay, so for breaking this, we're not going to grind this too fine because if it's too fine, it's gonna cause future problem when brewing. So we just use a granular, that one. So on the top, we just pour out the barley from top and got two rolls and completing each other to break the barley into like these kinds of pieces. And we'll keep the husk outside. It will help with the filter. So it won't make the mash. We call the mash too sticky. So only pour the grains out there, and all the grain will fall down into these big cases. So we have to put some kegs here. We're gonna keg them all.
Spice. Yeah.
And when all the malt are falling down, the crushed malt falling down, we have a conveyor belt. We can come this way. And see, this black thing is like a conveyor belt. So you can rolling inside and bring out the crushed malt from the bottom to up over here. Yeah, there you go. From that machine, so that is the spring inside this white shell. Going down. And all the malt is gonna falling down into this big stuff we call the mash tun. So in the mash tun, we got a big knife. We can turning to, and in the meantime, we're gonna put some certain temperature of water. We usually use from 66 to 70, different temperature for different type of beer. We're turning.
How far up is it? Like
To the how far of the bring back? It's like here, a different type of beer. If you want to brew a really high gravity beer, maybe like like 10 centimeters to the top. Yeah.
And how many liters in this? How many liters of beer is that?
How many liters we will brew for one batch? 1,200. Mix. The mix thing we call the mash. Again, the mash is gonna stay here for like 60 minutes, around 60 minutes to 70 minutes. And during that, we're gonna recirculate to make sure we got a really clear wort. In this stage, because there's a screen down the mash tun, we can leave all the mash above and to filter all the clear wort. Wort means there are really sugar and water. So that's thing we're gonna use to transfer it finally into beer because we don't need all the mash. We're gonna send the mash to grain. Yeah, spent grain. We're gonna use the spent grain to give it to farmers and they can feed their cattle.
We actually used to use spent grain in Somerton to make branch granola. Yeah. That wasn't good. The spent grain, it doesn't have any flavor because all the sugar has been extracted.
But it has a lot of protein, right?
Protein, yeah, that's a protein.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a superfood. Exactly. Well, no sugar, high protein,
And keto. Well, there was on the menu 6 years ago.
Because the kettle, both of the kettle and the mash tun got a jacket. In the jacket, we can pump some steam inside. That's why we can heat up. If you want to heat up the mash, it's fine. If you want to heat up the wort, yeah, definitely we need to heat up the wort because it's a boil down. During transfer, we'll start the heating. Well, once we collect enough wort for the fermenting vessel, we just close it and to dump all the rest of water is in the mash tun, and we pull out all the spent grain from there outside. There's water inside, so you don't open it. Yes, please.
how do we heat things up? Is there a fire or is it?
We have a steam generator.
Bonfire.
I actually don't know.
Sound generator.
That would have been flames.
So steam,
Yeah, we have a steam generator.
but it's
inside.
like you're heating it from like you're blowing steam into it, or is it into the bottom?
So the steam generator, we have water goes into steam generator, and it connects to the gas, and gas will heat up the water and give us steam, and we'll get the steam pipe to run steam over all these three, the HLT, hot liquor tank, mash tun, and kettle.
All together. I want-
Yeah, all together. We can control it with the valve.
Okay.
If we want to heat up the kettle, we just turn on the
But
valve.
the steam is.
Didn't they have the identity, like the hope and the yeast and the different flavors?
In here, when during boil, so that's the next thing I'm gonna talk about. So we're gonna add the hops. Hops is like the soul of the whole craft beer industry, right? Yeah.
Oh, pellets.
Yeah, it's a pellet. So I recommend people you guys can take some. No, don't eat that.
No, I'm not going to.
And hop. It contains some citrusy flavor like
nice.
lemons and orange. So here we're boiling, right? We're boiling the oat beer. And this side, in the fermenting vessel, we keep the temperature down. So for this one is like 17 degree now. So we can just throw this hop just into it, and the hops can just mix with the water, so the beer smells like fruity and citrusy. That's the use of oil. And the other one is kind of acid. We call it alpha acid. The alpha acid only bring beer bitterness. So maybe you guys can heard of there's a unit called IBU, the International Bitterness Unit. That thing is a calculated one. So calculating the bitterness of beer, we will consider the alpha acid content of the hop and the boiling time. The longer the boil, the bitter the beer will be, and how much hop you're going to use in the beer. So these two things, bitter and an aroma. So these two most important things of the beer. So aroma can use very late of the boil here, and we can use in the beginning of the dry side, in the cold side. And for the bitterness, we can use it in the very beginning of the hot side. Like a 99 degree of water mixing with the yeast is gonna be cold. So we need to cool it down and cool it down really fast. So we use this one. This is called a heat exchanger. It's a really simple thing. They got two different paths. They got really thin plate side by side in here, stacked in here. So one side goes into the really hot water. The other side we use the 0.5 degree of cold water, just to transfer the heat. Then the cold water, transfer the temperature just to raise to like 80. It will go back to the hot liquor tank. Then we can continue to brew, so we won't waste the water. So through this, we will just cooling down the wort from 99 degrees to 20 degrees for in 30 minutes for 1,200 liters. That vessel. So this vessel, we call the bright beer tank. So in here, once the beer in here goes in here, it can drink. It's the temperature is low enough, and they got a little bit carbonation, and it's drinkable. And the final shape is formed. So in this area, why we need to transfer beer here? Because we want the beer to drink more fresh, more refreshing. We're gonna give it some more CO2 to make the malt feel better. And we also have a smaller, really tiny corn strip here that make the beer more clear. So the beer will stay in the beer barrel tank for another 4 to 5 days. And once we think the beer is okay, just keg it. They'll put into these kegs and send to the bar and connect to the tap. And then you can drink the beer.
Pour the beer. Help them pour beer.